Oh boy. Well, I thought I'd do something a little different today. Unfortunately, uh, I'm not entirely sure how this is going to go. It's much more impromptu, much more off the cuff, but I have some replays with Beat here. And as I was laying down, I found myself unable to rest. So I saved some matches in an attempt to uh, perhaps showcase my greatness. I kid, of course. But at the very least, I uploaded something. I called it OMK's Finest some time ago, and unfortunately, I haven't really done much with that. So I thought I would go over this here with some matches I did today. I was playing Beat. So one thing, we'll start out with something a little lighthearted in the background. There'll be the casual matches in the background. I suggest if you don't like my narration, at the very least you could mute the video because I wouldn't want to deprive you of these matches. So here is a Shannon mirror. uh, I'm not entirely sure which. Oh, I see. Okay, I'm the default Shannon. Beats the blonde Shannon. So here, I'm gonna lay some insight on you gents, okay? I'm really gonna give you the lowdown on what to expect from this sick Shannon mirror and whatnot, right? So first of all, Beat was playing Shannon today, apparently. And I made the joke begrudgingly in the Discord, oh, Beat, your Shannon is a bit low tier, it's no good. And he messaged me with a very angry face saying, my Shannon is not low tier. And I immediately challenged him to a 1v1. And he accepted. So, I was like, okay, Shannon and B battler, alright? And so here it is, right? Here's the fruit of that. So it's been going back and forth. It's playing Beat's always a pretty intense experience for me. I feel like he's very much like on my level, you know. I don't really know which of us is better. I think Beat has better execution, but I think I have a better strategic player than Beat. But he also plays like Burn, which is a really good character. So uh, again, here's default John, right? So you can tell I'm almost dead here. I actually start taunting. This is the second round in the set. Beat taunts me back. I think that he was under the impression that I was memeing him, right? That this was jokes, the reason I was taunting. But you notice I have very low life, and I didn't want to get like chipped out and die. So here we are. We're just playing. I backdash because I'm of the impression that he's just going to be like, that he's going to just rush me down. Or, I'm sorry, not rush me down, but stand back and just kind of ice me out. But Beat went too aggro with Shannon. I think that's his problem. We were having this discussion, Beat and I, about Delanor and Shannon as a team. And Beat's very much in the camp of, man, I sure don't like Delanor that much. And, I don't like Shannon that much, is what he said. Sorry. I suppose it's a little late. This probably isn't as coherent as I'd like it to be. And I was like, dude, I think it's fine, you know? Like, especially with Delanor, the ability kind of compensates. And whenever I've been playing Delanor and Shannon, oh, by the way, I'm the default colored Shannon. This is just merely to prove that I'm greater than Beat with Shannon mirrors. Unfortunately, I forgot to record the first one, but I also won that pretty convincingly. So now Beat's, we're going at it again. Right, so this conversation about Delanor Shannon, anyone watching this who's familiar with me and playing me might remember that I, do occasionally play Delanor Shannon. It's pretty hard to play, I think, against really good people with really good teams, right? I think you can play against a good person with a mid tier, a higher tier, or a high tier, but not top tier. Once you get good players on top tier characters, you really struggle. That's been my experience, and here this is just to show that I'm better than Beat. Then we started playing some more matches. We were doing Delanor Shannon stuff in general here, so I saved all the matches, and we actually eventually ended up playing more of a standard set of OMK, and I was like, hey, let me show you some of this Delanor Shannon, just also, this is not rehearsed, okay? I want to bear witness to this twice. So this is our first time kind of Delano mirroring each other, right? I'm gonna turn the sound up just a few notches. I've done my best to try and make this audio not as bad, but I'm left side Delano and Shannon. But we're both like, yeah, let's get these ladies out. Beat tells me that the EX version of this reduces your guard meter, your brake limit, right? The top left there, top right. If you don't know what the brake limit is, this is definitely not a video for you. But it reduces your brake limit when you're blocking. The EX version. I think that the regular one might as well, but I'm not 100% sure. So again, here I've been trying to convince him to just be like, hey, try this team out. So he's like, okay, I'll give it a try. He's blonde here. So we played this game, and I want to save all the replays we played to do something kind of like this in the future, to have some matches. I definitely think that Beats Shannon's a little bit lackluster, but I might go for the guard break here. One of the things about this team is that in OMK, it's not a very good way to play, I think, to avoid guard breaks. Oh, there, my 2A missed because this team. It's to avoid guard breaks or not capitalizing on a lot of normal things. But here you can see that I'm not really going to get much off of this. What's it called? Guard break. I did fuck up the combo. I thought you could close 5C combo, but I was incorrect in that assumption. Delano was pretty jank. But I find that this is a team that's very good at just continually kind of moving at you, you know? The short jumps from Delano and Shannon, and especially Delano's good jump C really gets down there quick and easy. It's nice. But so I feel like this team is great in that way, and most of these matches I bring this up because I'm going to be playing these characters quite a bit. As a matter of fact, I believe every single one of these matches is going to be that. So he does a nice melee there. Good capitalization with the knockdown. And especially that safe 5C there, you saw Shannon takes out the tray. Normally, that's C moves are very punishable. A funny thing, while I was playing against Beat, he commented I can't believe you just assault touched there. But I've started to find that with this team, whenever I get stuck on 5 meter, sometimes I need to do that if I just can't find an opening anywhere, you know. It's unfortunate, but it's what you have to do. So that's 6B right there. It's a real crime. If I were run over, I bet it would have worked. So I believe Beat's gonna take this, or is he gonna fuck up? Oh yeah, he does fuck up. That was a super jump there, otherwise it might not have actually died. You know, occasionally I think to myself, you should only really show videos that showcase the best in both people. And I was taunting here, again, because of the time, right? Anyway, sorry, nice tense moment there. I taunted there because whoever has more life at the end of the round gets the win, right? But I was thinking about this, and a fellow named Nora, who plays in the OMK Discord, not as frequently as I think he should, unfortunately, he was talking about, I think, I'm trying not to misrepresent what he said, but it was something like, I mentioned, I think jokingly, or maybe even seriously, I don't remember now at this point. He said, or I said to him, oh, I should save that replay and put it out there. It was a good match. And he was like, no, that won't show our best. And I thought, I definitely see that logic, right? You should only show good plays. You know, you don't want to show someone that doesn't know how to play the game. But at the same time, people will make mistakes, kind of like what Beat did in that last round where he super jumped, right? Or mistimed a thing. And I managed to make I guess, was it a comeback? I don't know if B would have killed me. It would have been really close. But at the very least, it was, a mistake. And it's like, well, how can you really find a match where there's no mistake, right? Because I definitely am not, being contrary to what this guy, again, Nora, a very good player, says. But I was just thinking, at what point is there a match where it's like, yeah, there was no mistakes on either player's side, so both players are very happy with this. So yeah, unfortunate. Nice guard break there. So I just kind of saved these as hey, Beat's pretty good. I think there's definitely points where I make mistakes too, right? Right there, I did 2 of the Delano dashes and wasn't plus. I mean, is it a mistake that I shouldn't have jumped seed? Or is it like only executional errors are the mistakes? I mean, it's hard to say, right? But I digress. It was just an interesting point I was kind of thinking about because uh, I think that these are for as much to ramble about as also be somewhat entertaining and some considerations. Commentary on the match aside, it's in the background here. I would say, again, if you want to watch the match, it's all fine. One thing I wanted to point out about Shen, right, because there's a couple little things here going back and forth, is sometimes Shannon's 5C, it has two hits, one where she brings it out and then one where it kind of goes forward. So it's like a projectile and it comes out no matter what kind of deal. And then my pad messed up. Nice micro dash though. And to me, you can't actually cancel the 5C unless the first hit hits, or the first hit of the 5C connects, I should say. It's a better way to phrase that, right? Guy would be happy with that. He's my editor, by the way. So, let's move on to the next match here. Oh, nice. Oh, wait. I forget I played Lucy here. So, we were talking about, let's play some real games, because we were just kind of screwing around with the Lanor. Earlier we screwed around with some mirrors. It's Shannon stuff, too. So, we're just like, okay, let's play a normal match. And I was like, oh, do you want to stick with the Lanor Shannon team? And I guess you didn't want to, despite my insistence that. Because the reason I bring this up, I'm so adamant about it, is that Beat really likes Delano. But I feel like whenever he plays Delano, it's not really in an optimal team. So I'm trying to discuss the optimal things to do with the team considerations, right? And I was like, I don't think there are very many characters in the game that power up Delano. Because in a lot of ways, one character tends to assist what another character is doing when you're playing. A really good team might have both characters assisting each other. Also, Beat's kicking my ass pretty hard here. I was telling him that I was thinking B-Battle was a better pick for Lucy, but I'm not sure. Just because of the way their abilities work. That's pretty much the entire basis of it. But I'm not 100% on this. It's like the dash cancel here, it's like you get more life off of this than you would with the Battler Resurrect, right? Just a consideration. Anyway, I forget what I was saying before, but, Beat, optimizing Delano with Beat. So I was like, yeah, Beat, you don't really play like any, let's take Delano to her limit teams. You just kind of pick a good character, then you pick Delano, and it's like, he has some vague, Delano Battler is good because you can regen life, you have a lot of life. And it's like, well, do they really help each other, In terms of some sort of deeper synergy, it's like, you can just play both characters mechanically well, I would say. Well, that sounds too loud, sorry. You can play both characters mechanically well, but it doesn't really mean, that the team works, Is that quick attack touch there? 2A not reaching, unfortunate. Combo not working. A lot of mistakes there from me, so... also, I would like to point out that I was red life and Beat was blue, so I feel like I've really been trying to fight here, but unfortunately Beat manages to smash me. I'm not used to Beat Battler, so that where he points and blows things up, I'm really not used to the delay, or the lag, afterwards. So, that's kind of why he got me there. Now, another thing to consider... Hold on, I actually have some music going in the background to it, but I'm just going to turn up the tad. Helps me think. Alright, so, as I was saying, in terms of optimizing things, and I'm going to finish my thought this time, I swear. I was saying that Shannon is basically a good way to power up Delano. And I think that, in the same way that, a Lucy and Battler team are kind of good together. But primarily that team is about using Lucy to power up Battler. It's not so much about, anything else. I hate saying when I'm trying to have a stream of conscious, or, do impromptu talking. It's very obnoxious to say and because you can, always add a and anywhere. I digress at this point. Unfortunately, I wanted to do that, and my Delano, I think, holds that team back. It's just not... I tried to run up to the throw there, but unfortunately it was too slow. Or at the very least, it didn't work. So here you just go for the knockdown, right? I think that the one hit of flip out right there, it does more damage obviously, but I don't think it makes you go quite as far. So that's kind of why I did the flip out there. And Beat, I'm trying to think about how to say this, but he's never a person to really think about, I think, strategy. It's fairly seldom that he does that. And I wish he would do it more, because I think if he did it more, he would be a better player. And why wouldn't you want to be a better player? My run-up DP's no good there. And B goes into the sick Leah combo. Oh, sorry, it's a pretty tense moment I want to watch. I know it's going to happen because I played it. But even so. Oof. What's going to happen, gents? Who's going to win? Nice DP by John. Oh no, Leah's just going to get guard broken and lose. What's new, right? Leah's, people are going to have their opinions about Leah. And I think Leah has obvious points where she's strong, but some situations are just too bad for the poor witch to deal with. Anyway, so I think that whenever I play Delano or Shannon, my Shannon is I don't see anyone else in our small community of, you know, six to eight active players. Oh, that was such a silly guess by him, by the way. I made fun of him. That doing that was like not very safe. But because we were chatting while this was going on, that Anjay met a super there. He didn't even get the stun, funnily enough. So eat your heart out, Anjay. My Delanor isn't great, but it's good enough that I can make that team sort of function. So I was thinking Beat is a better Delanor player than I am. You know, I'm not afraid to admit that. It's fine to admit when a man is better at achieving something. You know? So I thought, well, why don't you try this team out? But his Shannon, I think, is just so subpar. It makes that team not work. And he was saying himself that he just doesn't like Shannon because she's clunky. And I'm like, well, Delanor's clunky too. So he was talking about, I play, you know, Delano and Burn because I think that's nice. Inevitably, Burn will get caught, and having Delano's ability is good. And as well, the having an additional meta timer for Delano is also very good. Excuse me one moment. That's some nice water. Yeah, Beat started getting me with that A-goat. Because I just don't respect Leah when I'm playing Lucy. I'm like, I'm not afraid of you, old lady. Like, I will just out-exchange you so often and not let you, like, get to the stuff that you want to do. This match looks a lot closer than it felt like when I was playing. Because I was really not respecting him. And it's like, Leah has to take risk to basically stop these disrespectful attempts. And if he fucks one up, he loses a lot. So even if he stuffs me, it's like, well, I know that these stuffs don't lead to anything. So I'm not afraid of you, right? And here's where I started to play. I was like, hey, you know, I'm going to switch back to Delanor and Battler. Or Delanor and Shannon. You know, go ahead. You don't have to... you know, we don't have to play, like, very serious matches. Because Beat and I, we both have a lot more fun with the game when we play characters that we think are fun. Rather than, like, 100% playing to win with top tiers. You know, to each their own, but... I'll actually shift that focus over to the match, but to conclude the thought about Beat, basically his Shannon sucks too much to make this team work, and I was like, yo, let me give you some Shannon tips, dude. Right. So if you notice, I actually neutral tagged to get Shannon with that ability because one of the big things about Delano or Shannon, they're two of the slowest characters. So having anything for them is great, and by that I mean like any way to overcome that disadvantage. And so one of the ways I've been trying to overcome this disadvantage is by using the ability system in the game. Both characters have 15 seconds of abilities. They're also the gray abilities, so a lot of this might not make sense, but each of the abilities in this game has a color, and that color corresponds to its time and its type of ability. Most of the time, this is pretty irrelevant. I thought Beat would do something different here, but whatever. No, it was just a very strange exchange. But here you can see that Shen can really just unga bunga her way in there and just run in there, like, yeah. And you see under her feet she has the gray and reddish purple whatever kind of thing, ability. and that lasts a long time. Again, it's 15 seconds of abilities, and both these characters have the gray and or purplish kind of look. So it's really great. Their abilities synergize well. One doesn't cancel the other one out. I've had some weird thing where like some abilities cancel each other out after a certain time or after meta breaks. Or maybe I'm just an idiot. I'm not sure, but I've definitely had some odd times here, right? But yeah, you can see that Delano and Shannon's ability works well together. They both tend to like take hits because they're not very good, and they're kind of scrappy as well. So when they get into those kind of exchanges, the scrappy exchanges, you see, you see like it's good to have auto guard to correct your little mistakes. It's good to have the ability to reduce damage. So here I'm getting hit, right? But it's scrappy as heck. And it ends up not doing any damage. And also, he fucks it up. But even if he did continue to his damaging combo, he wouldn't have gotten very much out of it. So I think the two characters have pretty good life. Shannon has the second highest life. I think Delano has decent life too, because she's like a slow grappler. And those archetypes tend to have life, so I want to say that. But this is by no means a game of consistency or anything to make sense. But alas, so in these matches, I feel like, for me, my Shannon does a lot of work. But Delano is still important. I bring her in with more meter. I don't always bring her in to just fight if I can help it. I tend to play like a very zony poke game, just with her normals. And you just kind of have to accept, I think, with Delano and Shannon, that sometimes your just normals aren't going to reach. But whereas Shannon here is much more... I really like the fact that she can zone and poke, but it's with mirrors and a seagull, so it's different. So here I have the abilities on, and I think I was trying to hold jump out of that. End up getting hit. And my ability actually wore out. That's probably what it was. Oh wait, no, they're still on. Oh no, I have Shannon auto guard, but I don't have Delano's damage reduction. So it looks like a nice guard break situation. Yeah, I don't want to have any of that. I'm just like, fuck it, just get out of here. Shannon had 5 meter. And one of the biggest mistakes I've started to notice about myself when I'm playing, I tend to I really prioritize meter advantage when I play. I kind of get the most out of like an attack touch specifically, and not like using guard touch or the defensive mechanics all that much. And oh gosh, I hate how things just miss. But yeah, metting even after like you whiff stuff with Shen is good. Her lightning blast is pretty good. So, but that's been one of I think my biggest flaws. And it's like, oh, I'm holding onto this meter advantage, but I'm still blocking, and my reserve is max meters, so that meter isn't going anywhere. Very obnoxious. So I've been trying to occasionally give myself just a little more wiggle room with how I use those abilities. And Assault Touch at least gives the ability to the other character compared to the Guard Touch and whatnot. So, and it also gives you a knockdown, which is really good for both of these characters. So, it's nice. So, ability plus a knockdown, and you're really right next to them, so it's nice. I don't believe I had my ability on. And there it is again, you know? So, it can be a nice way to just kind of reverse the momentum, bring it in your favor, a little more than a guard touch would, also a bit less risky, so here I am trying to just pressure old Leah. In Beat's credit, it's pretty good blocking in a way out there. He does fuck up with this level 2. When we were talking, he's like, oh my god, Angie. Ooh, okay, Command Grape's gonna get through. So we have a lot of timeouts here, probably because both of our characters are kind of low tier and not like super great at doing damage. And I'm just going super aggro, even though I really shouldn't be. Get him with a hit, and then that's it, right? Just block. So nice. Okay, these are pretty nice matches, I feel, even though I ended up winning some of them. Oh wait, shit, Alright, where was it at? Oh, I scrolled down, I think. So, what's today? Today was the 22nd. And then I was playing against Aaliyah with the Delano Shannon, and then we did Delano Shannon again. Okay. Is this still the boiler room? No, okay, it's a different place. Skip. We tend to let the beginning kind of play out, right? So here's where Delano is great with Jump C. I find that even characters that have really good anti-airs have a struggle with this. Nora is a big guy. He plays Anjay a lot. Most people, I shouldn't say most people, but he plays Anjay a lot, and some people know who he is at the very least. And he's like, dude, this 2B is great. It's like a really puts Angie down on the ground and is a nice way to have an anti-air. And I agree, it definitely can do a lot, but I think it's a little lacking in some situations, mostly against like the best, the absolute best of the best in terms of air moves, right? Like really big hitboxes. So here I get stunned and hit for a pretty decent combo, but because I had that ability on, you could see I still have a lot of life here. And it's funny because Beat and I were kind of joking about this, and now I get hit without the ability, unfortunately. I think my stun probably reset too, right? Or am I? Yeah, I guess so. And you see, I have 5 meter on Delano here, and these are those moments where I'm like, it's probably better to just like assault touch out, right? Like even if it's not an optimal use of meter, at least like I have something. And I'm starting to do that more just to try and be like, okay, try and find a way out. Don't just rely on the assault touch, still try to get out, but don't be afraid to in some instances. That's been my own personal thing. Beat messed up his micro dash, run up A-Goat. He also fucked up there. Suck Beat. Good old jump over. Here I am getting blasted for another Angie and Leah combo. Beat getting a little greedy with the corner run there. Oh yeah, we're also bitching about rollback like we always do. I was like, man, it's fucking rollbacky 5C. It's like I was trying to time it, but you also kind of have to guess too. I thought it would be close, so I did it a little sooner and accidentally burst. And here's that jump C. One thing about Shannon's jump C is that those boots really go out there, you know? Like, it's not bad at all. Again, those really good abilities. Just always trying to meta declare when I can. Ooh. Nice, just barely out of that. I would have died right after those goats if he didn't, so it was fun. Nice close matches here. See, I feel like this is when OMK is at its best, you know, people playing characters that aren't super just broken. Beat trying to low profile Delano. Thankfully, it's pretty hard to confirm off of that. I bet Larry could, that bastard. Here, he was expecting the jump CB after the 5B again, but it's sick confirm. Look at that. That's what Shannon gets for a meta declare off of a 5C mid screen. It's like, how bad. Good stuff, good stun. Straight to a little more damage. OTG for 600. Gonna get this confirmed. Force the burst. Pretty bad start for Beat. This round it looks like it's a little less convincing. Maybe he can bring him back though. He has all this meter. He also has Anji. Some jumpery. Good stun. I do have the ability, so even if he stuns me, it's like, who cares, right? You can see I kind of back off here once my ability wears out. Don't want to take too much. Oh yeah, Shannon's like reversal is pretty much like impossible, I think, to beat, or at least to punish because it's like so lingery. I know lingery is an odd adjective, but it just lingers for so long. There we go. Again, guys, what? Why does it just keep going to the bottom? Oh, okay. If you hold right, it does go down all the way. Okay. So what was it? It was today, 22nd and 23rd. Okay. I was playing. I really like the way Anje's hair looks in her icon. It looks kind of wild and cool. She doesn't give a fuck. So again, I'm going to just be proceeding to play Delano and Shannon throughout the night. And also, no accusations of only saving my wins, okay? I actually told Beat to hard counter me once tonight. And I told him to play Rosa and Burn, which is Delano or Shannon, the team as a whole. Both those characters individually counter like each of my characters, so the team together presumably also counters them. So anyway, Beat was like, I want to play some teams. So funnily enough, you know, to those that know me, I play a lot of Canon Lucy. Or at the very least I know how to play it. I think they suck, but whatever. So Beat decided to play them. And I feel like I had some pretty nice reads against him here. So far, Beat's doing some good stuff. I also don't have my partner, so it's kind of hard to deal with Cannon. No confirm. I remember the joke I made when we were playing earlier today. I was like, hey, you know, John would have confirmed that. He didn't say anything. He's doing pretty good. Fucked up there though. Trying to rely on wacky stuff with Cannon. He thought I was gonna jump there. We both giggled about the 3C just beating me clean out of the air. Here I just unga bunga him because I have the abilities, you know. Just go up and hit him. Lucy forced to approach here. It's kind of a hard situation. Like, you know, Shannon's Seagull is kind of insidious. It's not like super good, but you still have to like respect it. But you don't want to like respect it too much, right? You just need to make sure that you're aware of it, that you're not letting it lead to anything bad. Because some people, I think, just don't respect it at all, and that's like a big problem. So like, he couldn't even punish it there with Cannon, one of the faster characters. And he really waited, I feel like, to make sure he didn't get hit by the lingering box. But yeah, so Beat's doing all right here. Not the worst Cannon Lucy I've seen. He's definitely producing something here. And Cannon 2C there whiffing. Should have done an attack touch up a 5C. Here I'm a little worried about Cannon's reversals, so I do a really max range 5C there. I'll do another one here. He just keeps backdashing because he's a D-bag. But if you're not good, or if you're afraid of something in OMK, you could generally backdash. He does get me here, but what's he gonna do, right? Meta declare? I don't even cancel it because I'm like I give a fuck. I have my ability. That's 900 damage, you know? That's what I love about this team, is it really forces some of those aggro situations. And it's like, you can be aggressive and force them to be aggressive in a funny way with like the Seagulls and slowly approaching them. And if you get the better of them in those situations, it's really great. I thought he was going to backdash, so I just kind of kept running at him. Plus I also had my abilities, so I can kind of take those risks, you know? But yeah, the team is great for that. Force that aggression and just let things happen, you know? It's fun. It's really nice whenever you can get a Delano stun off of the level 2. Let's go straight to the extra damage. And look, this is just respectable damage for us. Obviously I used a level 2, but 3.2k. Very, very nice, you know? Especially against Cannon Lucy, this shitty team. No life. Just like, fuck it, burst out. I have all that meter, you know? Like, again, trying to spend that meter a little more when I can. When it's safe. You never want to become predictable when you spend meter. I think that's one of the things that's like, oh, you have 5 meter, I bet you're going to bring in your partner. And that can be really predictable for players that are aware of that sort of thing. Eat your heart out, Cannon. 5A just fucking missing Shannon. Incredible, dude. Look at this guy. Just freaking doing that thing. In Beat, I'm like shit talking Beat. It's all in good fun. We're good friends. He knows. Even though this set of videos makes me look, or this set of matches makes me look great. Beat and I, again, we're very equal. He's playing different characters, and you know, we're just kind of like looking at this team. You know. That was the idea. Let's play some unfamiliar characters, just to have fun. So, I actually asked him. I was like, hey, did you save that replay of Rosa and Burn against Delano or Shannon? And he's like, oh shit, I didn't. I don't really save replays. And I'm like, yeah, I even in these matches, I actually didn't save quite a few of them. I think it was, I don't remember the score. No, wait. I believe it was 9-2. B had 2 wins. And one of them was with the Rosa, whatever. There I just unga bunga and jump at him 50 times because what's fuck's Lucy gonna do about it? She sucks. Anyway, because I was like, yeah, I think it'd be fun to kind of show off like Rosa and Delano, or Rosa and Burn, and how they stomp this team. You know, the really, some of the difficulties they face. But neither of us managed to save it because we're both like really talking while this going on. And here Delano's me. I'm having a little trouble with this. So Beat's playing the Shannon Burn, and I'm playing the Delano Shannon still. I debated bursting here, but I'm like, eh. Probably not great. Thankfully Delano has high stun. Beat made fun of me here. He's a jerk. He's like, haha, I stunned you. I didn't do anything. I outsmarted you. That's the kind of person Beat is. He's really not a great friend if you think about it. Like, he's always mean and stuff. He's insulting me. I'm just like, wow, dude. Just trying my best. Here I am playing Delano Shen, and he's like, yeah, Burn, S tier character, top tier. One of a couple for sure. He's just being mean to me about it. What an asshole, dude. Look at this. He's gonna run away. Nothing fucking Shannon can do. I'll give him the slash here, pow. But yeah, I forget what my whole point was. Commentating the match, I guess. Yeah, he's scared. I knew he was scared. I smelled it, dude. That's why I fucking just ran up and threw him. I don't really throw because my throw button doesn't work very well. I also tried to jump at him to do the, what's it called? The air throw, but my pad doesn't always read diagonal well, so sometimes I just jump straight up. I believe it happened in one of the earlier matches. I don't know if I pointed out. Going to that Shannon OTG. Still have those abilities on even after the meta, so I'm really not afraid here. I remember I joked, I was like, dude, I have these abilities. I give no fucks. Oh, I really like the Seagull into 2B. I believe 2B is not minus. Or if it is, it doesn't feel very minus. So, it might be 0. Maybe it's -1. I don't know. I should really look at frame data. I've never been a big frame data guy. But. So here, he was playing Burn, and I think Burn is very good against these characters. For reasons like right here, you see. She can really dictate a lot. And again, here's Beat. His Shannon kind of letting him down. Look at this. Again. He was telling me that he was learning that, like, Shannon... Oh no, in our mirror earlier today, he was like, oh, I figured out that Shannon's grab is shitty. But look, here he is still using it. He never learns, right? That was his excuse for losing. No, I didn't know that this is bad. And now he's still doing it. So, you know, what's his excuse now? I don't know. I'm sure he has one. I didn't realize I didn't have my Delano at that time because I'm bad. So here I'm just like, oh great, here's Burn. Go for shenanigans. I'll give Delano auto guard. He confirmed off that cat because cat is like super fast to recover. I learned to confirm here. You actually dash cancel into the 2C, stagger it, and then 5C. Good stuff. Good combo, I guess. I don't know. He definitely had my number there. I'm not a big spammy reversal guy, but sometimes I feel like it's good too. Because Beat's kind of a wild animal, and he'll just sort of like do shit when he can, and you really have to use force on him to get him to just like stop, you know? I thought he was gonna burst, so I did too many A's. Now Shannon's in instead of Burn, who's the best. Now, I feel like I'm handling his Burn fairly well with this team. Enough that it's like, it's not like, you know, determining everything. Burn is definitely good, but it's like, oh, it's fine, you know? It's not dictating everything, which is important, I'd say. Cancels me. I'm running at 5 meters, so I'm kind of worried here. I'm trying not to give him too much space to get Burn in. There it looks like he ran up, hit a button, attack touched, but got hit out of it. Stuffed. See, right there with Delano was like 2B. Delano, I was talking to Beat about this, how Delano sucks because she can't confirm off of her big normals. Like, her B moves and her C moves are, like, impressive. But they're just so inconsistent confirm. Also, he has Shannon's auto guard here. He was really running at me quite a few times. I'd replay that. But I remember joking, like, yeah, I see you have auto guard. I know what you want to do with auto guard. Just, like, when I kind of run up. B didn't mix it up too much. So I was definitely, like, looking for his auto guard shenanigans. Here I try to get my abilities on. I'm just going to go at him, you know? Seagull saved me from the combo. Along with just having damage reduction here, right? Look at this, only 500 damage off of that. Nice auto guard. To those who don't know, Shannon's ability is literally just like auto block. It's pretty great. So here Delano is at 5 and his Shannon's at 5, so we're gonna go in. Shannon's ability cancels out a lot of Shannon. Or Delano's shield, Cornelia, cancels out a lot of stuff. Here I was like, I'm gonna do this run up into fucking get you, because I have a really hard time with micro dashes. I guess I suck. He doesn't die though, that was very disheartening. I remember thinking like I might OTG him, and I was like, oh no. I'm scared. Burn's just here. So it's like, okay, maybe my life will be enough. I'll have enough here. Bring Shannon in. Probably should have meta declared, but I iced him out. You know, just efficient trading, icing them out until the time runs out. Vern gets really mad when she gets timed out sometimes. It's great. So, well, we had one final match of the night. Well, I'm already coming to a close here. Like I said, I didn't save all of them. Kind of wish I did, but we played one final match of the night. This is something where I decided to get away from the Lon Shen. B was like, okay, I think this is the last one, dude. I was like, okay, I'll try a different team. He's like, who am I gonna play with Burn? I don't know. Can Bet is annoying. I mean, overpowered. Definitely a top tier team for sure. It's pretty much everything that Cannon Lucy is, which is another team I like. Let me just fast forward this. I hit him for damage. Very exciting. I'm sure Larry would have liked to see a combo. Sometimes I feel like Larry only plays a set play in combo. P.S. I love making fun of Larry. Alright, let's see. Beat whiff that, I guess. I feel bad showing this game. He's just whiffing things. Beat did say he was tired, so now I'm just like, yeah, look at me beat up him. I feel like this match isn't that important. I'm not really gonna take it too seriously. Thoughts in closing for the night. The Insomniac John here. I think Delano Shannon is a neat team. Nice ability synergy. And other little things. They both have very kind of like similar playstyles. The big, slow, clunky kind of pseudo rushdown characters. It's fun. They're a fun team. I'm glad their abilities work. And I feel it helps them overcome some of those really bad matchups. Beat should try it. You guys should try the team if you like it. If you don't, no, I'm just kidding. No one likes Delana, I've noticed. Okay, I'm trying to think. Only Beat really plays Delana, and like myself, right, loosely. There's a guy named Piova. I have a channel, or on my channel, I was facing him a bit. I think he's switched over to like Beatrice and Virgilia. He hasn't played too much now though. So anyway, look at this sick thing Beat does. He jumps over the thing. I wouldn't have been brazen enough to try that personally. Give him the blast here. He was like, "Ha, do it again. I'm gonna jump over you." And he's like, "Oh shit, I didn't land quick enough." It's pretty funny. It's fun having our little chats. Maybe someday I should just like record that stuff and be like, yeah, we'll just have our casual play. We just yell at each other, get kind of upset about things, and occasionally insult each other. It's pretty fun times, I'd say. Oh man, I don't have anything to say because he's just losing here. He doesn't have as much meters for me, which means he's gonna lose. I can't confirm though, so that means I'm actually gonna lose. Looks like he was trying to clash there. I taunt with this on because I'm like, I know Burn is just gonna sit there. I was surprised that actually like hit me. I don't know. I felt like I had enough frames to get out of that. Jump 2 so you could carry isn't super great. Look at this! He literally goes behind me. What is this? Right? Like, are you serious? Here, see if he's gonna get it done with Burn. Or am I gonna poke out? Oh wow, that was a big flub. A funny thing about Erica. Sorry, I was gonna mention something about Erica's jump, but it's not that important. That match wasn't that important. I think it was just I was like, oh fuck, I missed some good games. I just need to save everything so I can go through it later, you know. But yeah, no, pretty fun games. I don't have much else to say. Just a sleepless night, I guess. It's already like 6:31. I was laying in bed for like almost like an hour and a half. I'm like, oh dude, if I can't go to sleep, do I just stay up? Like, I guess so, right? I mean, or do you just keep lying there like, oh, okay, have all the lights off? I have my fan blowing on me. Just kind of like, yeah, it's comfy, but can't fall asleep, dude. I don't know. Fuck it, right? Let's see. If there's anything else I can think of moderately entertaining in the replay box here. I'm not really sure what some of these matches are. These might be. Oh, I think wacky things. Sometimes when a match just has something strange happen, I like save it, and I'm like, oh, that's like a weird thing. I might want to like look at that. So I'm not sure which like replays are curated to be like good or bad, right? I mean, maybe one of these random replays is like good. I don't know. Look at this Jessica Ange team. Who the fuck is playing that? I don't think I have names on in my replays, so. Oh, here's this is definitely Guy playing George Ronaldo back then. This is probably another match. Oh no, these are IRL matches. It says players, see? This might have been when, yeah, 2017? Yeah, it's a funny story. Beaten Guy actually visited me IRL, so I'm not sure what all these matches are. I digress. Nothing else to say. Hopefully, my incoherent rambling with the matches in the background, with a bit of insight to them, I'll find entertaining. So yeah, I'll turn this off now. I'd say good night, but I can't fall asleep, so shrug. Life's hard, but have a good morning, evening, afternoon, night, wherever the heck you are.